So someone like you, Alan,
Yeah,
that's all you.
that's all me. Here we go. Someone like you. So, yeah, this is put out by Fathom Events, meaning if you have a subscription to Regal or AMC, you're paying full price for this one. Um,
Yeah.
this is a Christian love story, and soon realized that from the opening moments of this movie. Um, it starts off with a quote from C.S. Lewis, basically paraphrasing the four loves, where basically if to feel the fullest. To feel love at its fullest means that pain is involved, or hurt is involved. It's the story of Dawson Gage, played by Jake Allen, and he's in love with this girl, London Quinn. But he's loved her from afar. He after his parents' divorce, London's family took him in, and over that time, he developed feelings for her, and unfortunately, London didn't exactly reciprocate until she recently broke up with her boyfriend. And so now the door is open. And as the two are about to go out to get ice cream, London gets hit by a car and dies.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And I should also mention that London's mother is because of during the birthing process, her kidneys were ruined, and she is currently in need of a kidney. And London was the only person who had the perfect match for her mother's kidney, and now she's dead. Um, but we find out that London has a twin sister. How did this happen? Well, London was made in a test tube, and there were two embryos, and London was born, and the other embryo was sent off to Nashville for another couple. And so Dawson goes out and decides that there needs to be closure, and that he needs to meet London's sister. And that's kind of where the story, that's pretty much the direction of the story. It's the story of the sister who then struggles with the fact that her parents didn't tell her about this, that she's not really their child, that her sister is not really her sister, and so a lot of betrayal. And she comes back and lives with London's family, and she feels family in this case, and so it's kind of like that. It's this is fairly typical when it comes to Christian stories. This is kind of like it's a very Christian story. And I think my issue about the Christianity in it is that it leans into it at the beginning and it kind of disappears midway through until the end when she sings "It Is Well with My Soul." It's like if you're gonna be a Christian movie, be a Christian movie. Start, pray a little bit more, talk about God a little bit more. Especially in this time of what family is, and the betrayal and forgiveness, which ultimately it gets to. But I think as a movie, it was shot very well. The acting's very good. It's a beautiful film taking place in Nashville and in North Carolina. But in terms of the story, it falls into everything all the problems I have with Christian movies. It's probably one of the better done ones, but it's still there. It's that Lifetime, that Hallmark Channel type story, and that's what you have here. So yeah.
I'm not against seeing a film like that, like Ordinary Angels with Alan Ritchson was very good. And I don't even know how you could categorize that as a faith-based film. Mm-hmm. The lead character, who's based on a real person, goes to church. That's it. There isn't any religion being pushed. It's just religion is a part of his life. Right. He tragically loses his wife, and then he takes his kids to church. It's just those are people that exist in real life. Quite a few of them, by the way.
The thing about Ordinary Angel, though, is the message is very Christian in the sense of it's about a community coming together to help someone in need. The idea of charity. It's today people just sit around waiting for the government to give them handouts. Back when Ordinary Angel came out, charity came from the church, came from people who had surplus and gave it to those in need. This one is just it's about a mother who gave up her child because she had an extra embryo, and and it becomes, this is a fairly muddled love story. And did I mention it was a love story? Okay.
It doesn't, I mean, I can tell from the poster it's a love story, but
Yeah.
it just, it's something about the movie. I looked at it, I was just like, no, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me personally.
But I think it fits, it hits the wheelhouse of Christian movies, of which I'm not the biggest fan of.
Well, look, I don't mind you know what? I am not, I grew up in a house where we did go to church, went to catechism. Even if people know what catechism is, some of you may know it. So with the Catholic church I went to is beautiful on Woodward Avenue and 12 Mile. It's an incredible church that I used to go to as a kid. But once my parents split, that just sort of fell out. But it fell out of our habits. But I do consider myself, this is now a popular term, if you've never heard this, I consider myself culturally Christian, meaning all the holidays, I observe all the holidays. When I get together with my family, we do say a prayer before meals. So, and I actually like it. I like that we're like close-knit family where we can we just want the best for everyone, right? In our family. So, it's been a part of my life, but I don't go to church every Sunday. I'm not super religious, but culturally Christian in that, I appreciate, and that's why it's concerning to me that there's so much being anti-Christian or saying things against people who are Christian is so, it seems like it's just okay. I don't like it. So,
well, yeah. We'll get it to on Monday, but that's been going on since the beginning of time. It's probably,
you mean with the Romans and the lions?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. That's a long time.
So the beginning of AD1. It's going on since then. I mean, look, I'm very spiritual. I'm very, very Christian. But I've had my conflicts with the church. Let's just put it that way.
That's
fair, kind of where I am.
That's fair. But the thing that has bothered me is this is a Hollywood thing, is the prejudice against people who happen to be religious. So that's, I've seen it. Like my friend, Jeremy Kuhn, we had him on the show. Jeremy Kuhn is a filmmaker. His big movie he made, first movie of his career, he produced and edited Napoleon Dynamite. He's a Mormon. He is married with family. He is just a good guy. He did the movie A Disturbance in the Force, which is the documentary about the Star Wars holiday special. It's on our interviews channel, so check it out. Jeremy also, he's religious, and it's weird how people are feel just emboldened to be prejudiced against religious people.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Well, it's that whole forgiveness thing that Christians insist on. Turning the other cheek,
Yeah. So would you recommend someone like you?
If you like faith films and are into the Hallmark style of them, yeah. But I can't recommend this movie.